Well, g'day everyone, welcome back to the channel. This week we're heading out to Cameron Corner via the Strzelecki Track. It plans to be a big episode. Are you excited, Al?
I am excited for this one.
Oh, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. So go and get yourself a cold drink, get your feet up next 20 minutes or so. Come and join us for the adventure. Hi, I'm Steve.
And I'm Alison.
We decided a couple of years ago that we'd work hard and save all of our money and start living life on our own terms.
So we bought a caravan and hit the road on a trip for two all around Australia.
So why not come and join us every week for our adventures? Just like I said, we're down in Quilpie. We've come out to Eromanga. We actually spent an overnight here last night. I was going to go up to the pub, but the time we got here, it was just too bloody late in the afternoon because we just took our time coming out, and I really didn't feel like going for the walk up the street. But if you've never come and stayed out at Eromanga before, it's a great place, fantastic free camp. I'll give you a quick look around before we head off to the Bourke Dig Tree. So here's our spot at the Eromanga free camp. It's a great spot to come and stay when you come down here. You can see that we're the only ones here at the moment, and that's not surprising because the season out here doesn't really start until April and it goes through till about September. It just gets too hot out here. Yesterday it was 39 degrees when we arrived in Eromanga. It was still quite warm, but you're set up right next door to the community centre, and I'll just cut in some pictures, but there's barbecues, obviously there's toilets, there's showers, there's a dump point here and access to fresh water. And just a couple more things about the free camp. There's plenty of information here about the history of Eromanga. There's also some pre-made fire rings and there's plenty of firewood available for those cold winter nights. So just before we leave Eromanga this morning on our way out to Bourke Dig Tree, we don't want to end up like Bourke, so we're going to go into town, we'll top off our jerrys, make sure our fuel's top right off, just so that we don't get stuck. When we go remote, we do like to have the jerrys full, just as a bit of an insurance policy, even though we might not need them. And the other thing we'll do is we'll make sure we're fully topped off with water, just in case we can't get it. And the water here in Eromanga is very, very good. So as we said a little bit earlier, we always top off our jerrys when we go remote because you just never know when you can't get fuel, isn't that right, Al?
That's very true. Even though the apps might say there's a fuel station there, sometimes they haven't been able to get the fuel themselves.
Exactly. And just a tip, if you come out here into the remote, there's an app that you download for the garages, isn't there, Al? What was that called?
For IOR, it's Fuel Charge.
Yeah, it's pretty handy because some of the places that you go to, they don't have the FPOS payment terminals at them. You can only pay through the Fuel Charge app, but it's simple to use, isn't it?
It is. We first ran into it in Bolin, I think, a couple of years ago, so we downloaded it. It was very easy to set up and use, to be honest. I think actually since we first used it, they've improved the app. It's really quite easy.
Certainly. Now you do need access to the internet to be able to use it, obviously. When we're in Bolin, the whole town was down on internet, so we couldn't use it. But most of these remote locations for these garages, they actually have a bit of a Wi-Fi feed, so that allows you to get the fuel, but it's a very, very handy app to have and use, particularly when you're travelling outback Queensland, New South Wales, I think a little bit into SA and the Northern Territory as well.
Yes, IOR is more in Queensland at this point in time.
Yes, but they do show you on the app where the garages are, and if you're short of fuel, you can look up the nearest garage to you at the time. So the last thing we're going to do before we leave town is just top our tanks off with water, exactly the same reason as the fuel. We don't like travelling full because you do burn a fair bit of fuel, but when you get remote, you can't take the risk, can you?
No, you can't. It's not something we do too often, but yeah, when we're in those rural areas, we just check where we can get water and what the quality of water, and sometimes you just have to travel with it.
You do, and the water here in Eromanga is really good. It's obviously the artesian from the bore, but it's quite well filtered and there's no smell or taste or anything like that to it. So we'll get filled up and then we're going to head on to the Bourke Dig Tree. Well, we've made our way from Eromanga and we've come up now to the turn off the Tayshia to Innamincka. If you continue on down the road, you just go back towards Thargomindah and Cunnamulla. You go down that way. We're heading out to Dig Tree, so we're going to head out there first, and then from there we'll either camp the night somewhere around Dig Tree, or we'll go into Innamincka and camp out on the common. But I've got to say, where we are now at the rest stop at the Innamincka turnoff is a great place. It's a big, beautiful sky out here. They reckon the night sky is absolutely amazing from this particular place. It's also a free camp where you can stay of an evening. Check it out. The other thing you'll find out here at the Innamincka turnoff is there's toilets here, there's rubbish bins, little picnic area, so that adds to the night if you're going to stay here for the free camp. So that was our drive from Eromanga this morning up to the Innamincka turnoff. What do you think of that, Al?
I thought it was actually pretty good. I think they've been working on the road, so the road is definitely wider in parts. It's good, like the beautiful contrast of the greens and the reds. It's just always, it's so beautiful to look at and take in. Lots of wildlife around to see, so it's a nice drive.
Yeah, there was plenty this morning. We saw some kangaroos and emus, and of course you see some massive size eagles when you come out this way. And it was a lot greener out here this time, wasn't there? There's a lot more rain around. In fact, this time we actually saw water. I think last time we were out here we never saw water at all.
No, they've definitely had a bit of rain in the last few weeks, I imagine, by the look of it.
Yeah, they have, yeah. But it's very, very nice to come out here. So anyway, we'll get back into the car and we're going to head out to Dig Tree. So if you're heading out to Cameron's Corner and you're coming from Eromanga but you don't want to go via Dig Tree or Innamincka, you can continue on the Bourke Developmental Road, go down to Nakundra. There's a great pub stay down there, and then go on to Cameron Corner from there. But for us, we're going to head out to Dig Tree. We haven't ever been out there before. It's going to be quite an adventure, and we're heading further west into the outback of Australia, which is always a good thing to do. So we made our way out to the Bourke and Wills Dig Tree. It was an interesting drive out here, wasn't it, Al?
I quite enjoyed the drive, actually.
Yeah, it was. It was like really different landscape. It was like really flat, absolutely treeless. It was, yeah, really great to see. You don't see too many people when you come out this way. We did see a few emus and things, didn't we?
We did. They're always lovely to see the emus.
Anyway, we've arrived out here at the Dig Tree. It's a conservation park, and they ask that you pay $20 to either come and visit, but if you do want to stay, it's covered by that $20 as well, and you can camp down by the river. So we're going to pay. We're going to go and have a look around. If it's any good, we might hang around the night, but if not, we'll just move on to Innamincka this afternoon after we've visited here. We'll definitely have some lunch and stuff here, though, won't we?
Yes, it's past lunchtime.
Yeah, well, only just past lunchtime. Depends on what state you're in. We're almost in South Australia, so it's lunchtime. Rightio, so we'll head down, we'll check it out. So if you come out to visit the Bourke and Wills Dig Tree, you do have to pay that $20 fee as you come through the gates, whether you're just staying for the day or you're going to stay overnight, but the fee covers all of that. There's a great little camp area here. It runs right along the side of the creek, and it's okay to go swimming in the creek if you want to. You can fish here. There's a few picnic tables and things scattered throughout the area, and there's also a couple of rubbish bins. Most of the sites look pretty level, but I'll take you for a bit of a walk around and show you all of that. Let's head over and see the Dig Tree. So this is it, this is the Dig Tree. This is also known as, and I hope I pronounce this right, Bra's tree, but the real Dig Tree, where he inscribed the word dig on it. And obviously the stores were or were buried in below the tree, but unfortunately they just never found them. This is really interesting. This is the face tree. A photographer named John Dick and his wife Minnie decided to carve it as a memorial to Bourke on the tree. That's pretty cool. So that was our visit to the Dig Tree. It was a great place to come and visit, wasn't it, Al?
It was very interesting. I quite enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy the flies though.
Yeah, no, they were absolutely extreme down here today, and that's caused us to make a very quick decision. We're not staying. So
It's not enjoyable. I think the combination of heat and probably cows coming through, so the flies are just on you all of the time and they don't let you alone.
Yeah.
I actually considered getting out my fly net.
Yeah, they're full on, and we're the only two targets down here at the moment, so we're going to move on. But I've got to say, it is good to go and see things that you learnt about when you were a school kid and then come and actually see that in reality.
It is, yes.
It's definitely not in a place where I thought it might be by some of the old, you know, artwork and stuff that you see, but when you get here, yeah, it's
It's, yes, what?
It's just a great place to come and visit.
Is it like the artwork, do you think?
I didn't think it was, no.
Okay.
I think they took that poetic licence with their artistry in the past. But yeah, you certainly, when you come out here, particularly drive out here, it's just desert plains, it's barren, there's no trees. It's
very dry and dusty out
very,
here
very
at present.
different.
I imagine if it gets lots of rain, it'd be beautiful and green.
It would be, but I think where we are right now, it'd be very, very hard to drive through because I think it's black soil, so it's just going to turn to rubbish out here straight away. Anyway, we'll head off to Innamincka. We'll catch up with you down there. Have to excuse the car idling, but we're not turning the air conditioner off. It's too bloody hot, isn't it?
It's warm, yes.
We just crossed the border into South Australia. It's very, very windy, but I can tell you straight away, it is fly free.
That's a good thing.
It is a good thing. Anyway, we're going to go and find a camp down near the town common in Innamincka. We'll get some fuel, have a bit of dinner, and get ready to head to Cameron's Corner tomorrow. So we made our way out to Innamincka yesterday afternoon. We found ourselves, it's not a bad little spot. It's just on the town common. You'll find it, in fact, you can see town from here. It's about 200-300 metres away. I'm going to take you in and just give you a quick drive around the streets before we head off this morning. But the plan for today is we're going to take on the Strzelecki Track and we're going to follow it down towards Cameron's Corner. It should be a good day. It's a little bit cool today, but I tell you what, the fly value has increased 1,000%. You should see how many are walking around the GoPro as I'm talking at the moment. It is unbelievable. On that note, I think I'll get everything packed up and we'll get in the car and we'll head off. We pulled into Innamincka late last night, didn't we, Al?
We did, yes. It was a big day of driving.
It was, but we did stop at the Dig Tree and things along the way, so it was a nice day, and the scenery is unbelievable, particularly as you start to hit the edge of the desert, isn't it?
It's quite amazing, yes.
I've got to say, South Australia, you need to lift your game. That border crossing was the most boring border crossing I think we've ever gone across. It was.
It's perfectly fine.
We were looking for a sign, take a photo, and we get this little thing, welcome to South Australia, and a cattle grid. Anyway, I'm sure it'll get better when we cross it again a little bit further towards the south. The campsite here in Innamincka wasn't too bad for the night. It's a donation camp. It costs you $10. There's a donation box at the gate, or you can pay the Innamincka pub when you go up there. But they have some toilets and stuff here, don't they, down at the campsite?
Yeah, I read their toilets and showers. I think they're pay showers, so it's quite, a lot of campers like to come here and camp and use the facilities.
It's certainly, yeah, it was a great place to go and stay. There's not too much to Innamincka itself. We'll go for a quick drive through town and give you a bit of a look around. Then we're down to Cameron's Corner via the Strzelecki Track. So just before we leave Innamincka this morning, we'll take you for a quick drive around town. It's very, very small, so there's not too much here to see. But just over here is the petrol station. You can see through there. I won't drive in.
Continue for 3 kilometres.
I won't drive in, but there's fuel there. There's a general store. You can even buy yourself a carton of 4X I can see on the sign from here. And just coming up here is the drinking water station. So this one here, it was $4 for 20 litres of water, all clean drinking water from that facility. And you can see there's plenty of areas here to park and just pull over. And that's it. That's pretty much the township. So if you want to get yourself some fuel at the IOR, you just go down into the back streets. Just follow your Google Maps. It'll take you down there. But for us this morning, the road ahead of us is the Strzelecki Track, and we're going to head on down to Cameron's Corner. Righto, so we're heading out to Cameron Corner this morning. We can't really see what the condition of the Strzelecki Track is from here. So there's a little scan thing you can do here that you can scan onto your phone. We'll check it. I think we should be pretty right. There's been no major rain event or anything like that through here, and we haven't heard anything about the road being closed. So we're going to head on down and yeah, it should be good. So we just come to the dirt section of the Strzelecki Track. It's probably about 40 k's outside of Innamincka. I'm just going to drop all the tyre pressures around the car and the caravan. I'll probably go into 25 all round, but in the back wheels of the car I'll leave 30 in those just for the load. I think we've got about 200 odd k's of dirt to do today. That's to get to Cameron's Corner, and then I'm not quite sure what we need to go past, but I'd rather knock the air out of the tyres, soften up the ride and just reduce the damage to all of our equipment as we roll on. But it should be a great day. The scenery out here is absolutely magnificent. For a quick break on the side of the Strzelecki Track. The road so far hasn't been too bad. It's dusty, it's corrugated, it's everything you expect it to be, but the scenery is absolutely magnificent. But as we're driving along, just on the side of the road, we found a tree which has a lot of boots and things hanging out of it, and a couple of memorial plaques to people who have passed away. But yeah, very, very interesting. Not exactly sure why it's here, but check it out. So we just pulled up for a little bit of breakfast. We're at the turn off to Cameron's Corner from the Strzelecki Track now. It's been a great drive, hasn't it?
It's been a very interesting drive. I've quite enjoyed it.
It's quite picturesque. Key to it, make sure you let your tyres down if you're going to do it. There's some big dust holes or bull dust holes as you go along, and there's also a lot of sandy stuff when you get down into the bottoms of the dunes and things like that. But yeah, it's a beautiful drive. The contrast of that green and red again's been fantastic, hasn't it?
It is beautiful. It's different again to what we've seen before.
Yeah, I said to Alison on our way out here or this morning, probably about half an hour ago, I think this is as remote as we've ever been. It's like, it's not that we're in the remotest area of Australia, but you're just on your own. You don't see anybody, do you?
No, I think the only people we've seen is a few workers travelling along the road.
Yeah, they were closer to the Santos sites, which are right back near the start of the track. But yeah, so just make sure you're prepared to come out and do areas like this. Make sure you've got plenty of fuel, plenty of water, good communications. We use our Starlink. It's still booming in right now. In fact, you're listening to a seminar on your phone at the moment.
I am. The usual professional development we've got to do.
Yes, but yeah, it's a great drive. So if you ever get the chance, come out, do the Strzelecki Track that takes you from Innamincka back down to Cameron's Corner, because it's a fantastic drive and it's a great part of the country to come and see. So after about a 4-hour drive from Innamincka this morning, we finally made it down to Cameron Corner. It's a great place to come and see, isn't it, Al?
It's quite interesting, not what I expected, but I don't know what I expected. I thought it was a little bigger.
Yeah, it's a lot different to what I expected, but it's just, sorry, you just have to excuse us, there is a million flies here at the moment.
They're
It's a little
friendly.
bit different to what I expected when we got out here, but at the same time, it's exactly what you expect. When you come out, you see Cameron Corner. It's the border of the 3 states, New South Wales, Queensland and South Australia, and it was named after Cameron. He was the guy who came out and surveyed this in the late 1880s, and they set in the border lines for the different states, which was quite interesting.
Yes, it is.
The other thing that you'll find here is you'll find a portion of the dingo fence. Now, originally the dingo fence used to extend nearly 9,000 kilometres, but it's since been shortened to about 5,500 k's. But it was originally designed to keep the rabbits out and stop them from spreading, and to keep the dingoes out as well, so they didn't come in and attack, you know, cattle and stuff like that on pastoral leases out here in the outback. But it's a fantastic thing to come and see. And from what I understand from people I've spoken to in the past who own motorbikes, they do the ride that takes you along the track along the dingo fence, and I'm sure you can do it in a 4-wheel drive as well. We're not going to do that, but yeah, we're going to pull into the general store here though, probably get some fuel. You can camp here. It's a bit early in the day for us, so we might continue on to Tibooburra today, but we'll just get a road traffic update from the people out of here.
Yes.
And find out what the roads are like to go further forward. And if it's only a couple of hours down the road, I think we'll continue on. I think I swallowed a bloody fly. Righto, let's get over to the general store and get some fuel. So just a couple more things about Cameron Corner. If you come out here, you can camp out here near the general store. There's unpowered and powered options. I'm not sure about water out here. You might have to check that before you come out, because most of the camps out around this way don't have water. You'll find the general stores located in Queensland, and you can see across the dingo fence into New South Wales. And of course, once you cross the grate here in the middle of the road, you're straight into South Australia. It's a bit early for us to stop, for us anyway, today. We're going to continue on a little bit further from Cameron Corner. We're going to drive it down through Tibooburra. We'll see how we're feeling when we get there, and probably the maximum place we'll go to today would be about Bourke. That's about 180 k's from here. So one of the warnings that they give you when you're here at Cameron Corner, make sure that you've got plenty of fuel on board and plenty of water as you continue, because it is very, very remote out here. There's not too many people around at all, is there, Al?
No, and they talk about communications as well, the ability to stay in contact, say, with the flying doctors if you need them.
Yep.
And if you break down, like what you should do if you break down in terms of staying with the vehicles. And they talk about the stations around us, and some of the tracks are private, so make sure you get permission off the landowners, and staying away from the watering holes of the animals.
Yes. All right. Well, let's get down to either Tibooburra or Bourke.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I always love seeing the emus when we're driving along there. So, yeah. Oh, they're little family groups, a lot of them.
They're beautiful.
Yes. Well, we're still on the Toomagate Road, and we're heading down towards Tibooburra. We've probably about another half an hour's drive down there. It's a great road, isn't it?
It's pretty well maintained, actually. There's not too many rough bits.
No, we don't have. It's not the bull dust holes and stuff that we're experiencing back on the Strzelecki Track, but I think it's all been recently graded too, and I think this is a busier road. I think there's a lot more traffic on this one than the one that we're on earlier today. But yeah, still a great road. So what do we do, Al? About 350 k's of dirt today, so time to air back up. We just checked the Silver City Highway, and it's fully sealed now, so there's no need to keep the tyres down in the car. We're going to drive into Tibooburra, let's have a quick look around, and then we're off down to Bourke. Well, what an adventurous day, Al. It's been pretty good, hasn't it?
It has been very good. It's something I didn't expect I'd be doing, and it wasn't anything I thought it would be.
Yeah, we hadn't really planned Cameron Corner into our tour, and we certainly hadn't planned the Strzelecki Track into our tour. But when we had the opportunity to come up and visit family, as you saw at the start of this episode, and we're coming back to Brisbane, I said to Alison, let's go all the way out west, and then we'll hook back up and we'll head down towards Broken Hill. So We've come to the end of the road and we're going to air back up in a second. We're just outside the township of Tibooburra. Maybe the sign in the background gives it away. And I think that's a perfect note to finish this week's episode on.
I think so, yeah.
So if you liked today's episode, make sure you give us a like before you go. If you have any questions or comments about today's episode, make sure you hit us up in the comment section. And of course, as usual, if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please consider doing so, because it really allows our channel to grow. Come and join us next week when we obviously go to Tibooburra and then we make our way down to, what is it?
Broken Hill.
Broken Hill. See you then.